Hello and welcome to Darth Snoogan's Tool Reviews. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that like button.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Got a new one. We got the new He-Man and the Masters Universe Beastman from the Cartoon Collection. This just arrived today courtesy of Big Bad Toy Store. Very cool. We got our new Origins line. I'm digging it. I'm digging the sculpt so far. I really love that face on this Beastman. It looks so great. So yeah, if you haven't seen these yet, these are the new figures based on the cartoon series. This one says, as seen on the Dragon Invasion. Comes with a comic book. Comes with the hover ray, which I'll have to go back and remember what all that's about. As you can see, cross-sell art. We got He-Man, Beastman, Man-at-Arms, Skeletor, Cartoon Collection, and I like how it's the design makes it look like the Filmation logo, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, very neat. I'm very happy to have this in my collection. Can't wait to get this out of the package and get going. So let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and get him out. Normally I cut all this stuff out, but with these newer ones, I thought, why not? Let's just go ahead and leave it in. Man, I love the orange on this. Now, a lot of people are complaining that it's a different orange than our other figures. That does not bother me. I like having the different versions. Very nice. The only thing I will say is his legs feel like he has, is that right? No, he has two different feet, but one of his legs feels a little off. Maybe it's just me not being that used to this new sculpting that they're using, this new buck. We'll move along and see if my opinion changes on that, but man, I love the color. Design-wise, no, it's not the exact color of the cartoon, but it sure is nice looking. I do dig that. Let's set him back here out of the way for just a minute. This is the hover ray that he comes with. We'll see if he can hold that pretty good. He also comes with his whip. Just like every version of Beastman before, at least our standard versions, he's got this oversized whip with just a piece of string attached to it. So that's neat. We've already seen the comic if you watch the cartoon version of He-Man. But yeah, so we get a cool little comic book starring Beastman, cross-sell art, and then we get our little diagram telling us what we can take apart on this guy. Arms, head, pop him off at the waist, pop the feet off. So that's cool. Yeah, so if you haven't watched that first video, I would go back and check that out. That's probably going to be a little more thorough than what this video is. So let me lower the camera down and we'll get a better view. All right, so we got our Beastman standing on his own. We got his accessories here, and let's try out his whip. Nothing too exciting. Yeah, he holds it just like all the other versions do. You know, nothing really to to brag about. Let's try the hover ray, and it looks like if I can get his arms to go together. It's a little finicky, but it is possible. So if you want to recreate that scene from the vintage cartoon, there you go, have at it. Yeah, not important to me. I care more about the figure than some oddball accessory. So yeah, he's got basically using the same bucket that He-Man figure has. So we got new legs, new arms. Pretty much everything on this guy is new. Now I will say it's kind of a little different. The spikes on his arms compared to our vintage figure, He's just got the one spike on the little shoulder things. Still the same basic concept with his armor, red with the blue jewel painted on it. We're still using blue and yellow for his trunks and his belt. Yeah, red boots. Now, the vintage figure didn't wear any boots. And he also didn't have any painted gauntlets like this guy has. But this is based on our animated show. If you haven't been able to tell from the face yet, because it looks a lot like the cartoon, it is weird that the coloring is a little different, but I do like it. And I think it makes it stand out a little bit more from some of the other figures that have come before it. So let's take a look at our Origins figure. Now, there's been a couple different versions of Beastman, but we're going to go with the standard Origins figure. Yeah, just the first release, not the Lords of Power or either Lords of Power figure. You can see the stark contrast as far as coloring and just overall design. He is a little taller. Now, the other He-Man figure came in right at 6 inches. Let's see where this new Beastman is at. Yeah, he's right on 6. So yeah, he's about the same height as the He-Man, mostly because of the legs. And he's also not using those really long, lanky arms like we got with our vintage and Origins version of Beastman. So that's kind of cool. But as you can see, even though they don't really share a whole lot in common design-wise, they're still both Beastman. I mean, it's undeniable. So let's bring in, let's see, I have our cartoon version, the retro version from Super 7, who also came with that standard whip, which I'm going to move that out of the way just so we can kind of get a better view. Let's move our Origins off to the side here and see if I can even get him to stand up. Now, I will say that this one is probably more true to the cartoon as far as the coloring and stuff, but that is, without a doubt, 10 times better of a figure. Yeah, pretty cool. Now, the belt on him and in the Origins, it's a little more green than yellow, of course, compared to this guy, but that's fun to me that there's so many different versions, yet they're all still clearly Beastman. And that's when you know you've got an IP that is just really, really stuck in the minds of people for years and years and years. Think Batman. Think about how many different versions of Batman, yet each one is clearly Batman. So I like that about the Masters Universe stuff. The vintage figures, the classics figures, the Origins, even the newer Netflix animated stuff. There's still details about most of the characters that just clearly makes them who they are. There's no mistaking He-Man or Skeletor. And here we got Beastman. So yeah, we're not going to try to do any body swap pieces or anything, because obviously it's not going to match up right. The armor comes off just like our standard Origins figure, so I feel like that's just kind of a waste of time. This guy, nothing comes off of. This is a I should have left him in the package kind of a figure, because it really doesn't do a whole lot for me. Not really a good toy. The only thing I'll say that they did with these that made sense comparing them to the vintage figures is at least they made them glossy. Our old vintage figures were all glossy, and that's something I think was missed with the Origins line. And I've critiqued that part of the Origins line enough, even though it's probably one of my favorite toy lines ever. I do miss sometimes the glossiness of those vintage figures. What do you guys think? You digging this guy? Or do you prefer our standard Origins? God forbid you prefer this. Or do you prefer the Lords of Power version of Beastman? Because that's actually a really nice figure. Both versions. We have two different Lords of Power figures. Alright guys, let me know your thoughts on this figure. Are you digging it? Do you get it on pre-order? Are you anxious for this figure to arrive? And are you happy about it? I mean, is this line something that you're into? Are you anxious to see what other figures come out in the line? Sound off in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on this. If you haven't already, please take a minute, subscribe to the channel. Give the video a like. Share it with your friends. If you got some friends that are in the Masters universe, maybe they're into superpowers, maybe they're into some of the McFarlane stuff. G.I. Joe Classified. I try to do a little bit of everything. So, yeah. I appreciate you guys sticking around, watching another video, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks.